it, right? So, but, you know, and to me, it's just BTFD. You know, I have my spots and I continue to basically, you know, buy on dips. I mean, I think that, I mean, and I'm not looking for today. I'm looking for, you know, months, years down the road here, right? Okay, what do we got? AMC issued a stock in exchange for notes. Class A stock, you got the drill. Neo moves higher, pulls bear rating from it. Interesting. Neuralink has reportedly known about the brain implant issue for years. Okay. Petrobras, Cleveland class. So, like I say, COPX had an interesting sweep. I thought that was pretty interesting. Okay. Push solar, see how that plays out. And insider buying on Biohaven, I am slowly buying some Biohaven and watches BCRX as well, insider buying too. What do we got? Okay. General Mills. Okay. One initiation today. Why this is doing this? Two. One from Roth, Grant, Granite Ridge, and WDE. Let's take a look at downgrades. Couple minutes before we get the number. Bolt, some power, 6 ECM. So what I did yesterday was, I have a little bit of AMC on, but I wrote against it, and it has a net credit like $1.50, something like that. So I can't lose money on that, which is fine. I mean, like I said, see how that plays out. Okay. Seasonality wise, Visa is now entering the fray. You're aware of that. I probably will be doing some stuff. Netflix is, I'm trying to find something to do with that. Service now, and you can see here that has not changed at all. All right, so let's take a look at September. So one cut, whatever. You know, I just, like I say, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Okay. This is starting to bounce, which is notable. Okay, so we're getting extensions whereby we have to be aware that there could be a pullback in the market. But, you know, this has been such an odd last few weeks in terms of how this money flows, what's been going on in terms of. So the reality is I think a lot of people took risk off the table, okay, in favor of these value type names, right? And it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in terms of what they want to put on their books, right? So, you know, in terms of, in reality is, the only way you're going to be able to, like I said, I don't get it. I mean, twins may be able to explain it, but I just don't get it. Here we go. Okay, 0.3. Oh, as expected, interesting. 3.6 lower. Inflation 0.3 as expected. 3.5 lower. Retail sales flat. Fascinating. Negative 0.2. There go the bonds. There goes the market. Here we go. And just like that. FOMO time. Right? FOMO time. Love it. Okay. Off we go. Love it. Okay, let's see if it holds up. So there's no reason not for what, you know, I just don't understand the logic behind some of this stuff. You know, why you would get out of these large cap stuff. That's just my story, you know, sticking to it. It's gonna be a fun one today. I don't know how that happens. But were there any revisions? There shouldn't have been, but look at this New York Empire State Manufacturing. Wow, cool. I know there could be. I'm not denying that. But who cares? Once again, guys, I'm telling you right now, these people are out of place again. Okay, they're not set up for rally in tech. Right? I just don't know how many times I can say this ad nauseum, maybe. But anyways, so yep, SMCI ripping. I'm in NVIDIA. So for me, a lot of this should make sense to everybody, right? Anyways. And I mentioned yesterday that TQQQ, that volume that was there on those 61 calls, someone was accumulating. That volume is not there. So anyways, I'm long the market and see how it plays out. Okay. So when it's all said and done, now we get, I still think we're going to get a FOMO chase. And I think that the next 2 weeks, putting on the balance sheet a lot of stuff is going to be a lot of fun, right? I think that should make sense to everybody, right? That would be the case. We'll see it holds. I don't know. We shall see. All right, so this is a recovery of breath in the technology sector. Okay. Going back in time, whatever, historically, you can see here 6 months, 1 year. It's really hard not to be intact in this market. I just keep saying it. Okay. And, you know, I just, like I say, I just don't understand the logic of a lot of this stuff with people, why they were doing what they were doing, right? Right. Gold is, I mean, it's just, like I said, it just kind of surprises me sometimes. And I said yesterday multiple times, and I said, and I posted it, and said it multiple times. A lot of institutions, or whatever, however you want to look at it, people are in the wrong stuff again. And they're going to be buying it to get in the right stuff. Okay? It's literally that simple. Utilities. Basically, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, still bullish, right? Right? And here we have greed, whatever. And you can see we got a little bit of rosiness, right? But, you know, nothing serious, right? But this is what we need to basically break out. And that's what you would expect, okay? But if you look at the 10-day, it's fine. It's really not that extended, right? 20 days is neutral, right? 50 days, neutral. 100 days, neutral. And then 200 days, neutral, okay? So this is what I've been saying. Every day, this is one of the strongest months for tech. Every day. Okay? Every day. Okay? Just be aware of that. And this is the weakest month for the Dow. Now the Dow is it's evolving. If you look at the top names of the in the Dow now, so it's gonna be a fun one. See how it plays out. Here we go. And here's the yield curve. Okay. Look at this 10-year. I know. Right? Everybody, you see that this is part of the problem I have is everybody's in this front end. Okay. So I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting. Canada, all across the board, you can see here, right? All rates are coming in. Pretty cool, right? 2.5. Here's the 5.10. And here's the 10-year, nice little bounce. So we held the range, low end of the range, and now we're bouncing. So to me, this is going to be potentially what could happen. But I would be really happy just to stay within this range, to be honest with you. China, well, who cares? And you can see here that this also held the pivot from the German rates. Okay. Dollar coming in. Cryptos are rallying. Commodities ripping. Right? Oh, wow, that's a big deal, Robert. Thank you. 3 cuts? Yeah, good luck with that. And there you go. Natty gas, we have to get through this 10 EMA for the next leg up, obviously. I still, I love this spread still. This looks like it's going to flag out on the energy side, just be aware of that. I mean, so much energy on this, like I say, I have the SCO on. We'll just, continue to see how this plays out. Right? Crude held the pivot down here, so that's notable on this extension. Gold crude about to break out. Multi-month Cyrus consolidation. This is a yearly consolidation. Well, multiple year consolidation. It goes back to 2021. This is going to be very, very powerful. Okay. And you see gold here. I don't think we take out this candle. And here we go. And just like that, small caps, tech all coming in a little bit. Small caps are ripping. Yada, yada, yada. This is coming in. Markets are rallying. The axis, but not the front. DAX holding the breakout pivot. See if we can flag out on that one. But you can see Fez. That's not the Fez. It's the Fez. Fez is trying to break out, monthly breakout on that flag. The small caps trying to break out. EFA breaking out. EFA IWM. So this is really fascinating because this is the EFA, obviously, is out ex-US, right? I don't know if that becomes like a catch-up.
Pop on here, whatever.
Okay, so.
All right. Well, guys, there we go. Market all-time highs. Cool, cool. I wonder if this is going to kill these meme names. We'll see what happens there. 44 line in the cent on GME. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right there. But obviously, we got a lot of shit that's gapping up for us, which is sweet. Okay, let's dive right into it. So if you guys are new to chat and never done so, make sure to click on that new to chat information. Sorry, make sure to click on the Discord link that's emailed to you. You're going to pop in chat with something a little bit like this. First area to go to when you do come in. Disclaimer section, give that a read, as well as go to the new to chat information section. Scroll to the very, very top of the section. You got a link to the disclaimer, as well as this bolded risk reward section. Super important to understand both in regards to risk reward, most important ratio on trading. So definitely worth checking out there in that regard. Below this, continue to scroll down. We have the how to read alerts on the options. Sorry, we have summary of how this chat works based on the channels work on the left hand side, so you can probably navigate the chat through the day, or you've already been looking. Continue to scroll down, we have the how to read alerts on the opposite equity side, breaking down how to read alerts on both sides. Pretty straightforward in that regard. Continue to scroll down. Options rules that we like to use Monday to Thursday in regards to controlling risk, scaling in, scaling out, trading different price contracts, etc., etc. Below that, SPX rules that we use every single day. Continue to scroll down. We have any with a small account less than 10K, break it down. If you have a smaller account less than 10K, so rules, information, discipline you can put in place, you get better manage your account. How to pick ideas from an options or equity perspective. Below that, and lastly, I conviction small account trades posted in that area. And they do make sense. Pre-market tickers on watch. What do we got going on? Tesla, SMCI, Nvidia, MSTR, MMYT, and Edible. So let's take a look at these names. So Tesla, SMCI, Nvidia, MSTR all gapping up on CPI data, MMYT gapping up on earnings, and then obviously in sympathy with CPI, and then Edible. Edible Garden reports its significant 27.6% year-over-year revenue growth in its first quarter of 2024. You have a big, gap up on those earnings. And let's take a look at these names from a technical standpoint. Intraday. I'm just going to reload this one platform because it just decided to crash. Has it done at the same time every day this morning? Okay. There it is. All right, let's rip through it. So Tesla and SMCI first two. Obviously, one with holding, for big caps. All right, so pivot to the upside today, 179.84 levels able to hold 186.39, 191.58. Big flag on the daily now. Unable to hold 174.64 to 170.13. Downside leaning bullish. People looking for a continuation push higher if the pivot point's able to hold. That is Tesla. Let's take a look at SMCI. $9.11.42 pivot. Levels able to hold 951.61 and 10.26. Unable to hold 872.97 to that 825.78 on the downside. Going to be leaning bullish as well. They're looking for continuation push higher if the pivot point is able to hold. So that is SMCI. That's Tesla. Let's take a look at Nvidia. Wait, give me 1 sec, actually. Oh, way too high on that pivot. We're at 842. Yeah. Thinking about Nvidia here. Okay, 1 sec. It's a lot more sense. Okay. Let me just fix this. Pivot to the upside today is going to be 845, aka the 50 EMA area. There we go. That makes a lot more sense. That level holds 872, 911, unable to hold 825, 792, 57 downside leading, bullish, neutral. All right. Let's take a look at Nvidia and MSTR. Nvidia is 925 this morning. So 924.14 pivots at the upside today on Nvidia. Levels able to hold 950.09, 969.78. Unable to hold, we look for a pullback towards 885. 66 to 873.13 on the downside. Going to be leaning bullish, looking for a continuation push higher. the pivot point is able to hold. And throw a little bit of resistance level at 908 go through as well. All right. Nice, beautiful flag on the daily. It's about this range break and hold for now, which it's slightly above, which is great. See what happens in that regard. MSTR, actually a gorgeous chart too here, guys. I think it looks fantastic. 1339 pivot, level holds 1403. That level breaks 1504. Unable to hold, we look for pullback towards 1258 to that 1171 on the downside, leaning bullish, looking for a continuation push higher. Again, the pivot point's able to hold. That's MSTR, that is NVIDIA. Let's take a look at the next two guys. MMYT, edible. This MMYT all time highs. All right. Pivot to the upside today, 82.13 level holds 84 to 86.11. Unable to hold 79.91 to 77.56. Downside leaning bullish. Neutral, looking for a continuation push higher there. Let's take a look at EDBL. And I love charts like this, they're always fun to play, but let's just take a look. Let's get rid of those. Okay. Okay. 781 pivot, level holds 888 to 982. Unable to hold 692. To that 552 on the downside. Going to be leading bullish, looking for a continuation push there as well. Okay. That's MMYT, that is EDBL. Let's take a look at the spine of the FANG. So 524.54 pivot, level holds 527.44, 530.05. Unable to hold 520.90 to 518.20. Obviously, we're at all-time highs here, guys. Looking good. Looking for continuation higher. 527.44 is the next resistance. So we'll see what happens there on the spine. Let's take a look at the rest of the thing here. Apple. $188.54 pivot, level holds 190.04. That level breaks. Room towards 191.20. Unable to hold 186.98, 184.92. Leaning bullish neutral there as well. Looking for a continuation push higher. Beautiful little flag break to the upside. Only issue I see is, we're slightly extended on the daily chart, but you know, we'll see how well it holds up today. I mean, it's not gapping up too much right now, so we'll see what happens in that regard. Amazon, nice little flag. 188, 15 pivot level holds, room towards 189.94, 192, sorry, yeah, 192.49. Unable to hold 185, 68 to 183.29, downside leading bullish, neutral, looking for a continuation push higher. Let's take a look at Netflix. $616.23 pivot level hold, 623.96 to 628.79. Unable to hold, we look for a pullback towards 608.83 to 614 on the downside. Going to be leaning bullish, looking for a continuation push higher today at the pivot points able to hold. Take a look at Google. Move the chart to 171.98 pivot level holds 174.73. Unable to hold 169.46 to 167.80. Maybe leaning bullish future there as well, guys. Looking for a continuation push higher. See what happens in that regard. Let's take a look at the VIX, Qs, and IWM. Interesting chart that Google. Actually quite beautiful. All right, VIX.
You have to do meta.
Oh yeah. You bet. All right, 472.42 pivot level holds 479.15, 489.43, unable to hold 460.37. It's 454.43 downside leaning bullish. Looking for a continuation push higher. That 50 EMA reclaim and push looks good. All right, now the VIX, Qs, and IWM. All right, 1288 pivots to the downside today, unable to hold 1235, 1183. Able to hold. We got room back to 1396, 1430. Sorry, yeah, 1334 to 1396 on the upside. Not leaning any particular direction, but as always, guys, using this for direction on Zim market. Let's take a look at the Qs. QQQ. Pivot to the upside today. We'll probably use the all-time high area, I guess. No. Go right before it. 447.90 level holds 449.68 to 452.31. Unable to hold 446.34 to that 444.12 downside leaning bullish neutral. That's the Qs. Let's take a look at SPX. All right, so 526 or 52.65 pivot level holds 52.83, 52.99, unable to hold 52.40 to 21 downside, leaning bullish on the SPX. All right, guys, so that's the SPY, it's the FANG, those are the individual names we're looking at today. Gonna go pass it over to South Beach while we type up the pre-market action plan. And then we'll do a quick little recap before the open. South Beach, you ready? She's all yours, my friend.
Okay, hey guys. All right, so we got the number, it's in the rearview mirror. Let's see the technicals, which have been really great actually. S&P looks perfect. It looks like they're gonna attempt to take out the old highs here, right? Biden willing to bait Trump 2 times. That should be interesting, huh? Get some popcorn ready for that one. So SPYs look like they're going to test the old highs, probably go through it. We'll see. And the Qs are probably the same, right? Yep, same chart really, same stock, same chart, same weightings. It's kind of the same shit now. Looks like it's going to bust through. Great EMA support, great momentum. They look really good. All right, that brings us to the Russell, which is up this morning. It looks okay, fairly bullish, but it's not the right stocks. It's been a tech-driven move. It's going to stay a tech-driven move, it seems like to me. And it looks okay, moderately bullish, not like the other two. Transports have been laboring, right? This has been these stocks blow. Okay, they never move. You trade them intraday, don't invest in them. That's the way to trade these transports. Okay, did I miss anything? Utilities. They've been acting really well. I guess there's a big need for, the grid and whatnot. The only question is, are the states which regulate how much these guys can charge, are they going to give them pricing power? That's, your guess is as good as mine, but the need for power is without question. All right, and there's been a really nice move off the bottom in these things. Okay, so that's the utilities, and that sums up the technicals. Then we had this morning, we had these CPI numbers. Okay, let's see what we got here. So they basically, came in line. So this is kind of a relief rally that they weren't bad this time. So month over month actual CPI 0.3 versus 0.3, year over year 3.4 versus 3.4. So perfectly in line. And the core, the same thing, 3.3 versus 3.3, year 3.6, 3.6. They hit it the nail on the head. Okay, so we're gapping up because it wasn't bad. And then you had that Empire State number, which was a -15 minus a minus versus they were looking for a -10. The Empire State number is a Fugazi number, like the Philly Fed. It never comes in line. It's always an aberration. And your best bet with the Empire State number is to forget it even comes out, because it's a bullshit number. Okay, it's never on target. Okay, so now let's see what this this news did to the bond market. That's really the crux of it. Okay, so the 10-year, which was trading 473 a few weeks back, when the CPI number came back, a month ago, is down to 435. So pretty good move. 0.4. A move, and it's down 0.084 this morning. The 2-year is down about the commensurate, same thing. So the spread is going to stay the same, right? So it's still, 36. So the inversion stays at 36. The bond market move is pretty, bound about 0.8 across the board, excluding the really short-term stuff, right? 6, 3, 2 month, 1 month, etc. Okay, so rates are down. What happens? The appetite for risk assets goes up. Okay, that's simple. All right, rates in London are down commensurate with ours, about 0.08, 0.09 across the board. And the Eurozone is basically the same, maybe even a little more, 0.1, 0.11. So it looks like maybe we saw the top in rates a month ago when the CPI number came out. Okay, but you still need the earnings, right? So like I said, I don't think rates are the big issue here. I think it's earnings. They've been coming in okay, pretty good for the bigger names, a little less good for the less, smaller names, but by and large, pretty good. Okay, so that's the bond market. Let's look at the commodity market this morning. Brent is basically flat, Natural gas is basically flat, but a nice move off the bottom and holding that 2 level pretty well. Copper acts phenomenal. So it ripped through 4 and now it's going to be testing 5. I think this thing goes much higher. I think gold is up 1% or thereabouts, 0.87. I think it goes much higher. And silver, I really don't have an opinion, but it's strong too, up 2.2%. Agricultural commodities are irrelevant at the moment. Okay, there's nothing really outrageous going on there. Currency as well has been kind of taking a backseat. So the dollar should be weak, right? Because we're not going to raise rates, right? So the dollar's down against North America. It's down against the yen. It's down against the Chinese currency, and it's down against the euro currencies. 108 on the pound and on the euro, and 126 on the pound. So down across the board, as you would expect. And crypto, weak dollar, it's up 3.5% on Bitcoin, 2% on Ethereum, Solana's up 3%. And let's look at the foreign markets. Okay, 0.2 on FTSE, 0.7 on DAX, both up. Nikkei was dead flat. China's down 1%, Hong Kong down 0.2, and Taiwan up 0.7. Okay, so there's your backdrop. Okay, we have banks and Fed. We have 3 Fed governors speaking today. China and Russia we'll talk about in a moment. Crypto we just got. Mr. Market yesterday, you know, you had that big move in some of these meme stocks in the morning. Some of us had a really good trade with that. But by and large, the higher beta names ruled the roost yesterday with that exception. Okay, you had semis were good. You had FANG were good. Gold and silver, banks, etc. Transports were the only down index, down 0.6, down 65 points, and that was the crux of it. Okay, it was really a meme day for the most part. All right, and what's working? Tech is working. Speculative names have been working, and that's that. So what do we have? Powell spoke yesterday. Keep rates higher for longer. Today's number would be a shot in the arm for a little bit of a change, right? Coming into today, we were 9% looking for a rate cut, 91% looking for nothing. That number will change a little bit this morning, okay? But I don't think we're getting a cut at the next meeting. Maybe the one after that, maybe a September cut right before the election so Powell can stay with the Fed job. Don't tell me this guy is not political. Everybody's political, okay? So it wouldn't shock me. What else do we have? Biden and Trump face this massive tax cliff and this budget deficit. We had, what's his name, talking about it today also, Jamie Dimon. He urges the U.S. to deal with its deficit sooner rather than later. At one point, it will cause a problem. Why should we wait for that problem? And if it continues, we continue to kick the can down the road. It just becomes more uncomfortable and it will be harder to achieve a balance. So he's urging whoever takes the White House, you got to confront this problem sooner than later. We also have Biden with the tariffs, and you know that came out yesterday. Another 18 billion in tariffs. They were talking about it on TV this morning. Basically, these guys can sell an EV car in the U.S. for $10K. The cheapest one basically out there is $30K. U.S. government is claiming that they're subsidizing their cars to the extent of $20,000 a car, and it's making our cars non-competitive. I have no opinion because I really don't know how that thing works, but whatever. That's the rule. There's going to be tariffs, and that's the way it is. Okay. Then you got Trump. He's dealing with this, what is it? This hooker in New York, and Michael Cohen is testifying for a second day today. I mean, it's a shit show, but this is the situation. And don't think that these attacks aren't political. You can bet your last nickel they are also. All right, everything's political. We're coming down to the home stretch for the presidency. And everything that these guys do is political on both sides. All right. Walmart's going to cut hundreds of jobs. They want people to relocate to main hubs for them, which would be Bentonville, Arkansas, and I think Hoboken, New Jersey. Both don't seem that appetizing to me, but excuse me if you live in either one of those places, but I don't know. We'll see what happens there. China's economy has pockets of softness, and that's why they're doing this huge 30-year bond auction, their first one for $138 billion worth. They want to fund major strategic projects and enhance growth over there, so create jobs and whatnot. That's probably why they're subsidizing all these companies like the EVs and so forth to get people working. Bridgewater, this is interesting to me, guys. I tell you that, Stevie Cohen told me that, he basically is right like 52 to 54% of the time. And he makes a boatload of money. Bridgewater CEO is out saying they're wrong on 40% of their calls. So the key, guys, when you're trading, of course, is to cut those losses and let your winners run. And that's how you make money. No one's batting average is that great. Okay, truly, especially when you trade. So, long-term investors, that's a different ballgame altogether. But trading-wise, your best case is probably going to be right 55% of the time. So, how you treat the losers is the most important thing. You can't let your winners, you can't strangle them, and you can't let your losers run. It's got to be the absolute opposite. All right, so keep that in mind. This is coming from the best of the best, right? 40% losses, losers, I should say. CNN is saying that the West Virginia governor will be the nominee for the Republican Party there when they vie for a Manchin seat. New York Fed is saying credit card delinquencies are rising, and that consumers are a little pressed. Then you had David Kostin, who's the chief economist, strategist for Goldman Sachs, and he's claiming that the S&P will go nowhere through year end. My experience is that these guys have no idea what they're talking about. I'm not saying he's going to be wrong. I'm not saying he's going to be right, but the batting averages for guys trying to call the market ain't so good. That's what I am saying. Okay. Bank of America likes this gut lab, says 60% upside there. Hedge fund manager Boaz Weinstein was on TV. Basically, he called the Mimi stock rally. He says it makes a mockery of investing. As traders, I could care less. I love these things because they create volume and they have range and they're great to trade. And Wall Street Bets is saying the most looked after names yesterday were SMCI, SOUN, Mara, and GME. I was a little surprised by SMCI on the list and Mara, not the others, and AMC, of course. Okay. Goldman's favorite two stocks, QTRX and HYBE, 55% upside there. OpenAI, they had one of the founders left, and shortly thereafter, one of the top executives left the company. It seems like there's a lot of management issues. They tried to get rid of the head guy at one point. I don't know what's going on there, but I'd be careful if I invested in it, that's for sure. Google announced AI enhancements last night to their Google search engine. And lastly, Ken Griffin wants to see Trump's vice president pick before he backs him. Okay, so we got the CPI, we got the news of the day. Now let's look at some individual names. Earnings wise, these are the ones that hit the ball out of the park. MNDY up almost 20%, ARQT, NXT, SRAD, GSM, ARCO, NU, DT, and Dole. We don't really trade many of those names, but that's the situation. We had insider buying in FOUR. CEO bought $5.8 million worth. New York Community Bank continues to act well. I don't know if anybody followed me on that one, but I'm sticking with this for a while. They're selling $5 billion in warehouse loans to JP Morgan, clean up that balance sheet. BGS had insider buying as well. OLMA had positive news on a breast cancer drug. Wolf has a new chief executive, a new chairman. AMK had positive news. Blink contracted with New York as official EV charging provider. We got Knock, the CEO is going to retire. VFC mulling options for street, some division, I don't know, streetwear, I think it's called. So that's that. On the short side, we had DLO, Infant, PBH, Boot, Rum. None of these stocks, Seadrill, DHT, we don't trade any of these, nor I don't anyway. All right, so AMC. Now this was interesting, guys. So they had a guy swap. They have them swapping 163 million in notes, right? 10 to 12% notes for 23.2 million shares. So what does that create? It creates stock at $7 a share. Okay, where's the stock? 6. Okay, but you don't know where these notes were marked on the sheets. Okay, so let's say I don't know, your guess is as good as mine. I don't know where the notes were set, but probably 40 cents on the dollar or lower. So then that creates a little bit different. Then you got to multiply that 0.4 times 7, which is 280. So as much stock as they can sell above 280, it's a big win. So it's a win-win for the company because they don't have to pay this 10 to 12% debt anymore. And it's a win for the bondholders because the bonds were marked at a discount, right? And they could sell the stock, at a higher price than what their mark was. Okay, so it creates 23 million shares for sale. But look, this stock trades like water, so it's a really good trade. It's already traded 59 million shares. So these guys could have gotten out of the position already if they wanted to. So I don't think it's as big a hit as other people think, or some may think. And what it does do is it retires 10 to 12% paper. So I think it's a really good deal for AMC, and I think it's a really good deal for the bondholders. Who loses? I don't know. I don't think anybody really loses. It's a little dilutive, of course, but it would be dilutive eventually anyway. All right, PBR is down. I've got an update from the CEO. KVUA priced this 182 million shares at 20, and that's the end of J&J's interaction with this company. They're out of stock. Okay, so KVUE, if you ever want to buy KVUE, this is probably close. I mean, this is probably the right time because the seller's done. The overhang is over with. Boeing, DOJ notified it that that they breached terms of a 2021 agreement on the 737 MAX. You know, it's amazing. And that fucking guy is still at the CEO is still there. Shame on these guys. Really. I don't know what's going on there, but it ain't good. You see the meme names down a little bit this morning, GME, Tupperware, AMC. I think I heard Kramer was negative, telling everybody to sell their stock or whatever. So you see all those names down, right? Upgrades and downgrades. These guys suck. So let's see if there's anything. This, what's it called? Experian had a great quarter. That's up a bunch in Europe. Accenture was downgraded. DNA, biggest piece of crap out there, is downgraded again. Nothing really exciting there. Okay, we had Akamai insider buying, 22,000 shares worth 2 million. I thought that was significant. We had a buy in Biohaven, 15,000 shares. CPNG, 10% owner, bought close to 1 million shares. On the sell side, really nothing. Market wise, we'll see. You know, I hate when they gap and hold. I think that's kind of sort of what we're probably going to see today, a gap and hold. So hopefully we'll get some range. We'll see. I mean, I hate, opening range because the rest of the day gets tougher, but let's see how it goes. Okay. So I'll watch the meme stocks for a turn. That's what I'm going to be focusing on for sure. And the semis, which have had great range. Those are probably my 2 areas of focus this morning. And the banks, because these lower interest rates are positive for these guys. Okay. And that's it. And I'm going to pass it to Spartan. Let's have a good day, guys. Spartan, it's all yours.
All righty, thank you, South Beach. All righty, guys, what's going on? So if you guys are new chat and already done so, make sure you click on that Discord link that's email taken to pop in the chat. It's gonna look something a little bit like this. First area to go to when you guys do come in, click on that disclaimer section, give it a read, as well as go to the new to chat information section, scrolls at the very, very top. Top of that section, got a link to the disclaimer as well as this bolded risk reward section. Super important to understand both in regards to risk regards to risk reward, guys. Most support ratio and trading, so definitely worth checking out there. Continue to scroll down. We have the summary of how this chat works based on the channels work on the left hand side, so you can probably navigate the chat through the day. That is important, so you know where to be looking. Continue to scroll down. How to read alerts on the opposite equity side, breaking down how to read alerts on both sides. Pretty straightforward in that regard. Continue to scroll down. We have the Spartan options rules that we like to use every single day. Breaking down all the options rules that we like to use Monday to Thursday. Regards to controlling risk, scaling in, scaling out, trading different price contracts, SPX rules right below that we use every single day. Definitely check those out. Continue to scroll down. We have anyone with a small account less than 10K, breaking down if you do a smaller account less than 10K, some rules information. This one you can put in place, you can better manage your account. How to pick ideas from an options directory perspective below that, and lastly, how to pick some small account trades posted in that area when they do make sense. Pre-market tickers on watch. What do we got going on today, guys? A couple different things. So Tesla, SMCI, NVIDIA, MSTR, MMYT, and then Edible. So let's just take a look at these names from a technical standpoint. So first two we're going to be looking at, guys, going to be a Tesla and SMCI. And by the way, Tesla, SMCI, NVIDIA, MSTR gapping up CPI data, MMYT gapping up on earnings and CPI data, and Edible gapping up on their earnings. All right, so there we go. Tesla pivot 179.84, level holds 186.39, 191.58, unable to hold 174.64, 170.13 on the downside. You know, got a nice little flag break back above all EMA support, looking for a continuation push higher, leaning bullish. SMCI back above the 50 EMA at the moment, 845. Pivot level holds 872.97 at 911.42. Unable to hold 825.78 to 792.57 downside, leaning bullish neutral. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. Let's take a look at MSTR. NVIDIA 924.14 pivot level holds 950.09, 969.78. Unable to hold 908.03 to 885.66 on the downside. Going to be leaning bullish for a continuation push higher. MSTR, and by the way, huge flag on the daily. Looks gorgeous. Range break is now the key for the next leg up. MSTR, beautiful off the lows as well. Great flag. 1339 pivot level holds 1403, 1504. Unable to hold 1258, 1171 downside, leading bullish neutral. Let's take a look at the next two. MMYT and Edible. MMYT 82.13 pivot level holds 84. Unable to hold 79.91 to 77.56. Leading bullish. Edible. 781 pivot level holds 888, 982, unable to hold 692, 552 downside, leading bullish for now. Let's take a look at the spine fang. Alrighty. 524.54 pivot on the upside today. This level holds from higher into the 527.44 resistance breaks. You see the 530.05 tested. Pivot, unable to hold. From lower into the 520.90 support. Breaks, we see the 518.20 tested. Meaning bullish. Control. There we go. Post that in there, post that over here. Okay, let's take a look at the rest of the fang here, guys. Apple 188.54 pivot level holds 190.04 to 191.20, unable to hold 186.98 to 185.42 downside, leaning bullish neutral there. Let's take a look at Amazon. 188.15 pivot level holds 189.94, 192.49, unable to hold 185.68 to 182 or 183.29 downside. Leaning bullish neutral there as well. Netflix 616.23 pivot level hold 623.96, 628.79. Unable to hold 608.83 to 614 downside, leaning bullish neutral. Meta pivot to the upside today, 472.42 level holds 479.15 to 489.43. Unable to hold 460.37 to 454.35 downside, leaning bullish neutral there. Google 171.98 pivot level holds 174.73. Unable to hold 169.46, 167.80. I do meta. 472. Yeah, I did. Okay, good. VIX Q's IWM. VIX 1288 level holds 1334, 1396. Unable to hold 1235 to 1183 on the downside. QQQs 447.90 pivot level holds 449.68, 452.31. Unable to hold 446.43 to 444.12 on the downside. Leaning bullish neutral. And then last but not least, guys, the SPX. Let's take a look. But 52.65 level holds 52.83 to 52.99. Unable to hold 52.40 to 52.21 on the downside, being bullish neutral. All right, so that's Spies and Bengals, the individual names we're looking at today, guys. Now, if you guys want me to look at something, just shout it out. We got some time here.